from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 116. I am Scholar Jeff. To my left is Scholar Tarek.
Hello people of the internet wrestling community.
And to my other left is Scholar Brian. What's up, sir?
Hello, hi, respect our community.
It's actually, I noticed your pause there before you introduced yourself. It's like, wait, who am I? Who
are you?
Who are you people?
Who are you people? Who are you?
Gotta get the notes right, man.
Damn. We may not be musically inclined, but we'll answer all those questions and more, including what could very well possibly be a milestone in this show. But you know what? We'll get to all that.
Milestone, but not in the good way.
Not in the good way, but it's still noteworthy all the same. But again,
right. It's noteworthy.
We'll get to that. But first, it wouldn't be an episode of Scholars of Wrestling without kicking off with a little bit of backstage news.
Indeed. Let's go ahead and peek behind the curtains and check in on a little
backstage news.
News. Don't you do it. Oh well, I
Ignoramus.
I tried.
Such an ignoramus.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Well, apparently not this week in wrestling, because this has to be one of the yet another strange week full of news. So let's get right into it. First off, apparently Adam Rose has been a bad little boy.
I've heard this. I read about this morning, and I seen his mugshot. And for those who don't know, he got arrested in Florida, land of flowers, for. From what I've read, it was like him trying to, what was the word?
It was a domestic dispute. Apparently, his wife...
And him going off on the witnesses on it? Something to that extent.
She tried to call the police, and allegedly he went for the phone, which is, in that state, tampering with a witness...
That's what it was. Yeah, tampering with a witness.
Something.
That's exactly it.
And also that was... it also qualifies as domestic abuse, which, as soon as WWE heard that, they're like, oh, hell no. Snap, snap. So they're like, yeah.
He is suspended indefinitely.
You're suspended, and according to their policy, if you get convicted, you're fired. Hashtag McMahon.
This is kind of a sad story for Adam Rose, Leo Kruger, whatever you want to call him. Because one thing, the whole suspension thing, he went very vocal about it, saying, oh, that's a load of bullshit. I got a doctor's note saying that the medication that I was on that got him in trouble was doctor recommended, but apparently WWE didn't, they knew about it, but they just didn't care. It still was like, oh, you still failed. Sorry. And he was very vocal about it on Twitter, and he says he doesn't care what WWE does to him now. It's just, he could find something else to do.
Yeah, and what's really sad is the original reason he contested the wellness thing in the first place was just because he didn't want his kids to... He didn't want that to come up when his kids found out about his wrestling career. And now this happens. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think this is going to turn out to be a lot worse than a little drug suspension.
So I think when... Who was it from the Ascension that's hurt? Victor?
I can never remember which was which.
Well, I know one of them wrestled with the Social Outcast, so once the full Ascension is back together, you can just see both of them filling in the Adam Rose spot and adding one more to the Social Outcast. Because seriously, what more can these guys do? They're already a joke, so they need... If Adam Rose is gone for good, most likely he will be, they need to fill that spot and fill it in with a tag team instead of just throwing two Axel and Bo Dallas together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I say Axel?
You did say
okay.
Axel.
I feel like I said his name wrong, but I was like, okay, just to be sure.
No, that's what they're calling them these days. The Axeman.
I just felt like I said Axum or something. I was like, wait, did I say Axel? Okay.
Yes, welcome to Super Mario RPG Scholars of Rest. There's a joke in there somewhere. Leave it alone.
And you failed.
And I failed.
It wasn't a good joke.
I didn't take a swig of my tea, but first, I feel like there's a joke in here somewhere. I guess Adam Rose was the lemon all along.
From what I've been reading on his Twitter, yeah, he is acting like a very big lemon. Lemon.
The big. He was
that
going
joke
on
isn't
about
for you to get. Leave it alone.
He was going on about not being a lemon, but it turns out in the end he was the biggest lemon of them all, as Jeff and
Talk about
have
party
said.
foul.
Party foul indeed.
Oh.
Well, he never did anything for me anyway, so this isn't. If they do get rid of him, it's not the biggest loss.
He started off pretty
world.
good in my eyes. Like when they gave him a chance to actually expand and do stuff, he seemed like he was starting to find his niche. But it just
In the Social Outcasts?
No, not in the Social.
Oh,
Outcasts.
just in general, Adam.
When Adam Rose actually first debuted on the main roster, I was like,
I
except
feel
they
like,
drifted too much to the bunny and all that nonsense.
well, yeah, and also I just feel like that Adam Rose character, I feel like it's kind of similar to how I feel about Tyler Breeze. He's one of those characters that fit perfectly in the NXT, like for an NXT crowd, but the character just wouldn't mix well for the main roster, which I think all of us felt like the Leo Kruger character may have.
But on the other hand, the Leo Kruger character never brought in Taylor Hendricks as a Rosebud.
Doesn't matter.
But he's not.
Taylor Hendricks always matters.
No.
You know who else was? You know who else was a Rosebud?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
You know who else was a Rosebud? Braun Strowman.
So
look what he did. Look what he did. He did one good,
join the
two good things because Scarlett. What's her name? Scarlett
Taylor.
Bordeaux.
I said Taylor Hendricks.
Well, Taylor Hendricks and Scarlett Bordeaux were.
Okay, so that's 3 then.
No.
Well, it's not like he brought them in.
It was a catalyst to bring them onto WWE.
It was equivalent as CM Punk being John Cena's gangster car guy at WrestleMania. Which WrestleMania was it?
That was the one with 22?
I think it was
22.
It was 22.
22.
I know
21 was Cena, Batista, and Cena winning their first.
Okay, so yeah, 22.
Either way, Adam Rose, sad end. Probably this is gonna be the end, no matter what. Even if he's innocent, he's.
It's an end. Done. It's an end. A sad end for some people. For me, it's just like he basically the fire burned out about a year ago on me actually giving a damn about Adam Rose. So you're dumb. You're dumb. So dumb.
He was also one of those guys where I feel like his theme song actually was more popular than he was.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I still have that song on my iPod.
And if you're gonna be as dumb as you were, then you deserve everything that you get.
Okay.
So
at least get Taylor Hendricks a job in NXT or something before you go. Damn, I'm not letting that go. But speaking of being let go, this one really caught me off guard. After 30 years of working for the company, the Brooklyn Brawler was released this week. This one was wow. Not that I really consciously thought about the Brooklyn Brawler.
I didn't even know he was.
Yeah, apparently his last match was actually 2 years ago against Ryback.
Wasn't he the Boston Brawler?
For like a minute.
For like a day. But then he came back in Actually, I think it was 3 years ago. I think it was 2013 when he actually had a match on Superstars with Ryback. Because I think it was a New York
didn't he
show.
also have like a pay-per-view match? Whatever, The Miz, when The Miz was trying to be face. The Miz and the Brooklyn Brawler against Alberto Del Rio and...
Not after that.
Not after that, but I mean, he had another match in 2013. Maybe not after that, but he had 2 matches in 2013.
Whatever. I honestly, it didn't... I was like, oh, Brooklyn Brawler...
You leave my Brooklyn Brawler alone!
I don't know. The Brooklyn Brawler never really hit anything on me because he's just been Heath Slater for 30 years.
But
the guy
even
who just
so,
shows up to lose.
But even so, he also had a prominent backstage role. Supposedly he screened promos to see who was shaping up well, who wasn't. And he was just
because
he was
couldn't
fixture for the past 30 years of wrestling.
He wasn't really good in the ring, but he knew what he was doing outside of it.
Well,
So
hey, he had a good career for the past 30 years, and I'm sure he'll find something to do.
I'm sure he could, but still, it's one of those things where you don't consciously think about it, but then when something like this happens, you realize, wait, you don't really think of that happening.
I never think about it, period.
Yeah.
And it's because, like, oh, it happened. Okay. I may sound like an ass, but hey.
Still, it's just one of those things that still strikes me as bizarre. That I didn't think about him being around, but now that he's gone, it's wow. Like, it's almost like Howard Finkel being let go. How can you do that?
Because he's probably reached the point where do we even know like the full thing on why he got released?
No,
was it his call? It was probably his call. Because he's probably thinking,
you're in the company for 30 years. It's
time to hang that dirty old Yankee shirt up.
He probably retired, and the WWE
just officially
announced it.
Well,
same thing.
It didn't seem that way.
Same thing with Christian. They just announced that this morning.
Well, Christian didn't retire. They just officially stopped his in-ring contract.
Yeah.
Is that what that announcement was?
Yes. He's still going to be doing the Edge and Christian show at Totally Reeks of Awesomeness TM.
That's the only thing.
But they released him from his in-ring.
You guys know my opinion on Christian, so you know what?
Go into it.
You know what? Stick with the entertainment thing, because that's actually something you got my interest in. I love the Edge and Christian show. I love watching it. I can't wait to see more.
Oh yeah, I think they've got their last episode of the season next week.
Yep.
Only on the WWE Network.
Plug.
Yes, cheap plug. But speaking of talent contracts, apparently Triple H just signed a new one for another 3 years, meaning he's still going to be around in wrestling. So there.
Not surprised. Hell, I even saw memes throughout the day just going, like, it's Triple H, the businessman, talking to Triple H, the wrestler. Hey, let's talk about extending your contract. I want big matches for the next 3 years that has me winning each singles title at least once. Deal.
You're a tough negotiator, me.
It's like, did I just make myself the greatest heel? You definitely did, other Triple H. You definitely did.
And did anyone?
Is that how you get? Is that how you get heat? Yes, Triple H. That's how you get heat.
Thank you, Triple H.
Did anybody not expect this?
No,
to happen?
I didn't. Not after. Just the way it was presented, it was like Triple H signed himself to another contract. Like, what kind of world is this?
Come on, you've got...
It's funny. It's like similar to that Pixar short, Jerry's Game, where you have that old man playing chess against himself. He's in his wrestling attire in one chair. He gets up, and while he's slowly walking to the other chair of the other side of the desk, he's putting on a suit, a shirt and tie, and a jacket. And he's like, "You are one tough negotiator." Takes off the button shirt, takes off the jacket, takes off the tie, puts back his Triple H jean jacket that he wore when he returned at Madison Square Garden,
and a wig.
And you know what? No, don't even have the wig. Just bring your sledgehammer out and just have it laying on your on the desk. You damn right I am, Triple H. Get up, walk. Do we have a deal? Deal.
I can't believe you made a Jerry's Game reference in 2016.
It works, though.
I know it does, but still, it's like, wow, we're breaking out all the crazy references this time around. Is there something in the air?
We're scholars. We're very knowledgeable.
That we are. Whoo boy. Speaking of being knowledgeable or lack thereof. What?
Or lack thereof. I can't wait to hear this next one. What is it?
This will be good.
This is more of just the bizarre way that this story has gone. But I'm sure this week you've heard about the Hawaii show that WWE is going to be producing.
Rumors
have been flying like crazy
So is that Bash of the Beach thing real?
No, it has not been confirmed, and according to all reports, it had no matches have been announced yet. It's just going to be a house show.
Oh, really? I actually liked the idea of it being like a pay-per-view event.
I know. So do I. But supposedly the only names that have been officially confirmed are Charlotte, Paige, and Asuka.
Really?
Yeah. No Cena versus Nakamura.
Wait, you mean the only match or the only names confirmed to be there?
The only names confirmed to be there.
Okay. Because I was saying that's a pretty good match.
Yeah, it is. But in other words, there's no Nakamura versus John Cena. There's no Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar. None of that interesting, fun stuff that they could actually make a network event out of.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad news. This is all from the Wrestling Observer and Dave Meltzer, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad news. The good news is, according to what's been going on, supposedly Nakamura is going to be wrestling his first main roster matches that same week.
Then it's kind of hard. I feel for just a house show, I'm finding that part hard to believe. I feel like it's going to be just a network only event, something similar to like King of the Ring or Elimination Chamber,
like, or the what was the one that just happened? Roadblock, something like that.
Hey,
I could see it being something like that, other than just being a typical quote unquote house show.
I certainly hope so. I really, really do.
Because isn't this like their first time
in
having
Hawaii
an event in Hawaii?
A very long time? Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So yeah, this would be a big deal.
Even though they're treating it like a house show, apparently there should be at least
some budget to it, and have it be network only.
Some budget to it, have it be network only. Have a few big matches that could, but probably won't affect storylines. But give them something like this. This is big. This could be big. Like don't have any titles change hands or anything like that, but give them a good show. Not just a regular house show.
So if the title does change hands, just any title.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, true.
Then again, with the way things are going, again, it hasn't been said for a while, but now I actually feel like I can believe it again.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen in WWE.
Yeah, well, what happened this past week? Yeah, anything can happen, good and bad. God damn it.
Well, again, we'll get to that. But again, speaking of total disasters, how about Canadian fires?
Okay, that's pretty bad.
Yes. So bad, in fact, that apparently in some place in Canada, there was this massive fire that really displaced a whole lot of people. Thousands of people lost their homes. Thousands of people were evacuated. So much damage. So you know who comes to the rescue?
Chris Jericho?
Kevin Owens and Tyler Breeze.
The greatest tag team of all the times.
Wait, really?
Yes.
They made a GoFundMe.
Really?
To help out the victims.
Fort McMurray, I believe it is.
And they're getting a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually want to look this up now. It's been a while since I actually looked it up.
It's... You try to be a big bad heel, but we see you.
He's like that.
We see you.
He's that badass with a heart of gold.
Yeah. We see you, Kevin Owens. That's it.
Yeah, you badass family man.
Yeah.
He's going to be a huge babyface when they turn him. He really is.
I don't want them to turn him ever. I don't.
Like that. He's an anti-hero face.
No, but I mean, like, he plays that character so well. I don't. And the way that it goes, they dumb you down when they turn you face. So it's like, I never want him to turn face. Ever. Ever. Keep him the way he is right now. This is glorious great.
Yeah, really.
Just have him be complete opposite of his out-of-ring personality.
Yeah, then again, he's so charismatic that he can play it any way. He can be heel, face, anything. And not for nothing, this is also making Tyler Breeze look like gangbusters. And I am having trouble finding the thing, but in the meantime, we'll keep moving on. And hopefully we'll be able to dig up some more information as far as how the GoFundMe is currently doing. But last I checked it, late last night, it's looking pretty well. In the meantime... Okay. Today is a wacky night. Speaking of wackiness, I'm not sure if you heard about this. Have you heard anything about the status of Mark Merrow, of all people?
No.
Yeah, apparently he's set to have heart surgery sometime very, very soon.
Really?
Yeah. All those steroids.
Yeah.
Was he even on steroids?
I don't even know. That's just me being an asshole. That's it. But
good for you, Brian.
J'accuse.
But
okay.
it's
yes.
Okay. It sucks.
It does suck. Anytime someone goes in for heart surgery, it sucks. But
and all things considered,
he's pretty young.
Yeah, I think he was only in his 50s, but even so, he seems like lately he's been doing some charity work. He's been keeping his nose clean. He's been doing okay.
He's been doing okay, and that's normally when the issues start to show up. Like if you do like extended. I don't know what has happened in his life that has caused him to have a heart problem. Okay, if it was from drug or alcohol abuse, not saying that it was, but if it was from that, when you're going well and doing things like charity and all that, and you're looking good and you're feeling good, that's when all this stuff from the past starts popping up. So I'm not saying, I don't know.
So the moral of the story is never do anything good for anyone.
No. That is... I'm saying it's when you're not doing the stuff that would cause the heart problem that's when it pops up. When you're not doing it anymore.
I'm just playing with you, Aaron. Do nice things for other people all the time.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I think I actually found the website. Yeah, they just broke $50,000.
There you go.
Their main goal is $100K. Originally, their goal was $30,000, but they broke that in like 2 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 2 days.
12.
Yeah, and they raised 53. As of this recording, they raised $53,667 in 5 days. Which is, they're already more than halfway home, and by the time this actually hits YouTube, that number's going to be higher, guaranteed.
Easy.
I know I retweeted the link on my Twitter machine. So
oh, by the time this goes up, they might have hit their goal.
I certainly hope so. If this keeps on going the way they have been, go KO and Prince Pretty.
Yep.
Exactly.
Give them a push. Give Prince Pretty a push.
Yes, please. I want to yell.
Just based on what he's doing in real life right now, give him a push.
I want to be able to scream, "Look, everyone, it's Tyler," and not have it something just to shout at Tarek just to piss him off. I want to believe in Prince Pretty, damn it.
Trust me, I like Tyler Breeze in NXT, but I even called it. He's one guy that I feel like he was one of those characters that would work with the NXT crowd, but it's harder to connect with the main roster crowd.
I know you're right, but still, I want to believe. And now,
we kind of getting something I call from the beginning. Tyler Breeze on SmackDown. Tyler Breeze and Fandango both turned on Goldust and R-Truth.
Hey!
And something I was like, when they first had both of them show up, I'm like, well, gee, I can see Goldust and I can see Fandango and Tyler Breeze turning on them and actually being a team because they actually fit character wise.
Wait, do you mean that Tyler Breeze could actually be getting regular TV time?
He has been getting TV time, though.
Lately, he had.
For the past few weeks, he has.
Yeah.
It shows you how much I've been paying.
Hey, when Tyler Breeze is around, I always pay attention.
I don't know what to say to that.
So yeah, him.
So don't say anything.
So now we have a new tag team with Fandango and Tyler Breeze. What are they going to call themselves?
Good stuff.
Wait, what was that?
Prince,
Hot Stuff.
No.
Hot Stuff. Why not?
That's what they're just going to... No
Team Hot Stuff.
That's
no
the kind
team or
of thing
anything.
an Uggo would say.
That's just their tag team. Hot Stuff.
I know I can come up with a better tag team name. I just can't right now. Give me time. I'll come up with something.
Hot Stuff works. But those two guys, how they're
dancing pretty.
They're dancing pretty boys that are high on themselves.
The dirty dancing? No.
Patrick Swayze's.
the Patrick Swayzes.
The Swayzes.
The Patrick Swayzes.
No, we're just gonna stick with Hot Stuff.
Yeah, you stick with hot. Speaking of hot stuff.
Hot. Daddy.
No. Hey, you forced me into this transition, okay?
What do we got?
Well, I wasn't going to say anything about New Japan or the G1 Climax.
Hey!
So I won't.
Damn.
Instead...
You're building up for the next time we bring up the climax, so it'll be one big climax.
No. See what happens?
You're bringing this upon yourself.
New Japan is bringing it on itself. Like, I don't even need to say anything. Just the way New Japan is running things, these things just happen.
They just reached one big old dirty climax.
Yes.
I'll keep it going.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
So, in the spirit of talking about New Japan,
okay,
I've mentioned his name on here a lot. Rainmaker Okada.
Yes.
Former IWGP heavyweight champion. Mm-hmm. One of their biggest names by far. According to the Tokyo Sports, and this translator guy who just translates matches and goings on from New Japan, apparently Okada is going to be releasing a nude photo book.
Okay, no.
I know, that's why I'm thinking. I was like, why are you doing this?
Why would we even need to bring this up?
Because it's a week full of bizarre news, and I just need to ask the question.
Because you said hot stuff.
Okada, what are you thinking? Why?
Are you that low on money?
He can't. He's the Rainmaker.
Do we really need to talk about this? I just kind of don't.
Are you that low on money?
I kind of wished you didn't bring this up at all.
Because now there's got...
no.
Is it why?
Exactly.
That's all you're going to get from us with this story.
Why?
That's it.
Maybe someone
What has happened in your life?
We don't...
You need to
I don't even want to know the explanation. I just like this. I just like my body, so I'm gonna just. I just like looking at myself nude in the mirror, and I just want to share that love with the rest of the world. That's his reason. Let's move on.
All I can think of after this was, wow, he's never going to work in WWE.
No.
I didn't think he would anyway, but this just like burned that bridge, set fire to it, salted the earth, and Abraham Lincoln.
It's funny. He's greased up deaf guy from Family Guy. More references.
Can't touch me.
He's just running all over that bridge to WWE, having his grease spill all over the place, and then he just reached the ends and light that match and burn that shit to the ground.
That actually fits.
I told you. I'm good at this shit.
Hopefully the next time we bring up New Japan, it'll actually be for a legitimate G1 Climax report.
Other than, why?
Well, now that you bring this story up, now we're all going to be just thinking, oh, he's in the G1 Climax. He's just bringing his nude photo so everyone could reach their G1 Climax at the G1 Climax.
Oh, Jesus.
There. You're adding fuel to this.
There you go. You got your climax joke. Let's move on.
And it's one thing that just won't go away.
And then DVD Phil will show up with his DVDs and was like, stop selling stuff. That's my gimmick.
No, DVD Phil will be his new tag team partner, selling the DVDs of nothing but just the photo show. instead of just having hard copies, you'll just have the DVD, so you can just put it in and just watch over and over again with their theme music.
Clearly, we have gone down the rabbit hole, and we cannot stop.
You showed us this rabbit hole. It's all on you.
I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole went. I apologize profusely to you both.
It's one deep, deep hole.
Wow. What a hole.
Just move on. It will never end.
And this show has reached a new low.
Oh, one long, low hole.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, I'm mostly out of backstage news outside of...
Why did you add that to the list? Why?
Because it's weird and newsworthy.
No, it's not. It really isn't. All it is just brings out the dirtiness in all of us.
Oh, come on. Did I really have to push that hard?
Yes! Yes, you did.
I beg to differ. But anyway, moving on to Monday Night Raw.
Yay! Not really, though.
I will say, from the past, month and a half, this has to be their weakest Raw.
Yeah, they had a good run. They had a good run of Raws. But this one was not the greatest.
Yeah, honestly, as we were preparing for the show, it just hit me that I really don't remember too much of this Raw.
They had the same type of finish 4 times.
Yeah, that's the one thing that hurt this Raw the most. That Brian said they had the same finishers, not even finishers, the finishing moments of their matches 4 times. We were counting
4 times. People got distracted enough
to lose.
Distracted enough to lose 4 times. How many matches were there? 6, maybe,
possibly.
That's it.
The only match that actually had a clean victory was Kevin Owens and Zack Ryder.
And if that wasn't a clean victory, I was going to scream at the TV.
Well, honestly, that match happened to be a lot longer than it should have been. Mm. But that's just me. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that one. But the only real couple things to talk about what's going on in WWE right now, the only interesting things that are going on, or really the most interesting feud, is coming from the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Intercontinental Championship fanboy.
Oh, no, it's legitimate.
See, it's doing what the Intercontinental Championship has been doing for a long time before this whole gap of uninteresting, diff doesn't matter type load of BS that it had for the past almost decade. Where, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, The Miz, and Sami Zayn, what they're doing storyline-wise is so great. And these guys are putting on great matches together.
Oh, yeah, big time.
This is the match I'm looking forward to the most at Extreme Rules. Not Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. I have as much as it was, those guys have great chemistry, and their first match at Payback was great. My only biggest problem is it's now how much longer can they go with one of them hinting who's the bad guy, who's the good guy in this one? We need
Extreme Rules. That
has to be someone. I've been saying it for a long time. It has to be Roman Reigns, but who knows? Somebody has to go heel.
But you know that Finn Balor's going to come out, and then AJ Styles and Roman Reigns are going to team up. That's just. I don't want that to happen.
I don't.
Maybe part of the other way around, though.
The only thing about with Finn Balor, I feel like he, for a good while, doesn't need to debut as just as the leader of the stable, because yes, they bring up when people from NXT come up, they're just they did such a great job at NXT, but this is the big leagues. This is what really matters. And for some people, they don't watch NXT, so they're seeing Finn Balor pretty much for the first time. For most of them, so they're just gonna say, "Oh, he's the mastermind and all that." Daddy, who that? Who ain't that guy? Why is he wearing all that gritty makeup?
I don't think any of the kids are gonna. If he actually comes out in the makeup, he's gonna be over. He already is over like crazy.
But if he comes out, but if he's hey dad, who is that? Who's that guy? Why is he the mastermind?
If they do that.
If they do that. That's why I kind of don't want them to do it. I feel like Finn Balor needs to be on his own.
And going back to the original point that we started on, okay, this Intercontinental title feud, okay, say what you want about the other three guys. We know they're great. We know they're awesome. But this has brought The Miz back into people's minds as well. He was out. He was just languishing, doing almost nothing before the feud going into WrestleMania.
And Maurice came back.
And then Maurice came back, and this has put him back in a spot where I want to see him in.
Oh yeah,
I want to see him in this spot too, because even though even including people we know, still don't like The Miz because who he was before he came into WWE. Ooh, excuse me. That was over 10 years ago. He has pretty much gotten this whole thing down, being a wrestler down. He's been down with it for a long time. He actually is a very good wrestler. He puts on really good matches.
And he's got cocky prick down to a T.
Oh, his character is... Yeah,
when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
Who else could get away with that?
He really is like pretty much what The Rock was when he was the Hollywood Rock. Just at a lower scale because it's not The Rock. Duh.
It's Miz plus Maurice.
And
that's good enough for me.
Now Maurice actually is really the best thing to happen to him because...
I'm sure you would agree with that statement.
Well, duh. But also just booking-wise. He was reaching
I'm sure you would agree with that statement.
He was reaching to a point where just him by himself was just... The character was starting to get stale and they needed something new to add to it. And I feel Maurice being the one that's like, this is a guy. Did you see these M&Ms? These M&Ms are not green. When all he needs is a dozen brown M&Ms to fill a brandy glass, or The Miz won't go on stage that night.
Yes, references.
But yeah, it fits perfectly with him, and honestly, he is in a spot. This has to be hands down his best Intercontinental Championship run.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He just needed the right
his other title reigns were just, we have nothing for the Intercontinental Championship. Let's give it to Miz.
His other title reigns he was a face.
Not all of them.
Well, the first.
No, I don't even think
the first one.
No,
I think the first one was when he was facing Wade Barrett.
That was his second, I believe. I think when he faced Wade Barrett when he won it at WrestleMania, that was his second title win.
Well,
and then he loses it the next night.
His entire face run was.
So yeah, and then he loses it the next night on Raw. Now it's gone full circle with The Miz because he won the Intercontinental Championship, or he had a chance, he lost it, and then won it the next night. There you go. But yeah, I feel like he deserves to be in his spot.
Absolutely. I think everyone in this Intercontinental title feud is exactly where they need to be. Everything looks great. Everything sounds great. Hey, you're getting your wish. It's the way the Intercontinental title should be.
It really is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the most interesting thing on the WWE right now. And that bodes well for the title itself.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
And that's all we've been asking for ever since the show started.
It really is back to that point, like where it was like the late 80s, early 90s. The Intercontinental Championship is a lot more interesting than the World Heavyweight title right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, like Roman Reigns, his whole "I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm the guy" thing. To an extent, it's working for him because he is just the guy, but he's also a guy in my opinion. He's just there.
Yeah, but really, I
still don't see a character with Roman Reigns. I
don't either.
He's just a guy.
But you know what? I was thinking about this, and I realized, just something hit me one day. I realized I like everything on this show but Roman Reigns. Literally every other aspect of it is okay by me right now. The women's division is great. The the tag division is great. The Intercontinental title division is great.
Brian would have to disagree with you to a certain extent with the women's division.
But even
so, his girl Becky Lynch is getting attacked by Emma and Dana Brooke.
I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with everything that Charlotte does. Okay, that's it.
So, in other words, you want to see her get beaten up.
Yes.
You want to see her lose.
Yes, which
then
made
she's
me
doing
happy.
her job.
No, but it's for all the wrong reasons.
Actually, I think
even so,
I think right now this is like her quote unquote evolution, like of her main roster, because she was just a generic face when she first came on,
and she herself is a generic heel. It's Ric Flair doing all the work.
No, I wouldn't really think so. I wouldn't.
That's how I
wouldn't
feel.
100. I can agree that Ric Flair is doing a lot of work, but I don't think he's doing the work by himself. I actually think Charlotte is doing just as, like, they're working off each other really well. And eventually, I don't think it's going to be like the whole, oh, you hold me back, punch. You hold me back, daddy, punch. I just think they're going to be, because in a recent interview, that the whole Michael Cole interview, they had Charlotte and Ric Flair, and now Ric Flair is saying, I don't think Charlotte can win without me. And now it's trying to be her proving wrong. It's like, there, you've helped me establish myself, Daddy. Now I don't need you anymore. And then fatherly hug, goodbye type ordeal. I don't see it being like, oh, you, I don't need you no more.
Punch,
punch. Woo! I don't need you no more. Woo! Punch.
Woo! Punch.
And then Ric Flair will just be like, woo.
Woo. Confused wooing intensifies.
It'll just basically be like, you have learned much, young Padawan. Yeah. Goodbye. Tap the shoulder. Goodbye, my daughter.
But even so, even with that all that discussion, it's still more engaging. It's just another piece of the puzzle that just makes the show overall more engaging in my eyes, sans Roman Reigns. So I'm just inclined to look at the bright side during all this.
Don't worry, Brian. Sasha Banks will come soon.
Yes, she will. Yes, she will.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
No, I have a feeling for a little bit she's gonna she's gonna team up with Becky Lynch when she comes back, just for a little bit, and then by SummerSlam.
Is she gone on TV? Is she gone for a reason, like storyline wise, or she just disappeared?
She just disappeared.
Okay.
It's how the Divas division works. When you don't have a storyline, you're off TV. That's it.
When we want to save you for SummerSlam, go with Edge and Christian for a little bit.
Sorry, I forgot. They turned it back to the women's division. Oops.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all new.
Wait, did someone say Divas? You said Divas?
I did.
Okay.
It's okay. Again, it's a new thing to get used to. We're not used to it yet. In the meantime, you had some thoughts also on the whole Shane and Stephanie angle.
I'm just intrigued of what they're doing. It's not the whole that I like that they made it so it's not like them going against each other. It's like, oh no, your way is wrong, my way is right. That whole thing. That because people were expecting that to be going through that load of shit for a month. But I like that they're doing the whole thing with like, did Stephanie turn face and nobody told me about it type ordeal? But I like that it's also the fact that Triple H is nowhere to be found, and you know he's just hiding in the darkness, waiting for that moment to be like, assassin strike.
Batman with a sledgehammer.
No, he's just gonna be he's an assassin from Assassin's Creed, which I just saw the trailer. It actually does look pretty decent. But yeah, come on, Cerebral Assassin, duh.
You're right, it makes sense.
Sledgehammer, boom. And the whole deal is like, is Stephanie, and one thing that definitely helped with is Stephanie playing him was the final moments of this past Raw where after Shane left, she looked at the picture of Vince and Shane back long time ago when Vince can actually hold Shane, not be like, oh, I love you, Daddy. Oh my God, you're too heavy moment. Mm-hmm. And Stephanie had that look in her eyes. Like, it's coming soon, Shane. It's coming soon. But it's also the big question. Like, very soon when Triple H comes back, it was like, we got you, Shane. We got you. And
or
Shane
did you?
And Shane McMahon would be like, did you really? It was all a setup because I'm Shane McMahon and I'm awesome. Especially now since he came back.
Ever since the beginning,
since he came back, he's one step ahead of them every time.
Yeah, you know that they are playing the hell out of each other at this moment. It's too goody-goody. It's too nice. It's coming to a head very soon. And
it's obviously leading to a Triple H versus Shane match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So
as long as it's not a typical authority angle, I will be satisfied with this.
They are pretty much the authority, but it's not going to be like it's
as long as the dynamic is
I can funny thing back to it's Civil War.
Whose side are you on?
Whose side are you on?
Damn it.
And you already have like Kevin Owens already against Shane McMahon, so he's going to be with the authority and excuse me.
How much you want to bet that this is going to be the Survivor Series match? Team Shane versus Team Stephanie.
I'm fine with that.
Wow, we're getting another Team Authority match? Hey. Damn. Well, you know what?
Again, as long as it's executed right, I could dig it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we've postponed this all long enough. Now we have to talk about the big event that happened not long after we finished recording last week's episode.
It happened the next day after we recorded last week's episode.
After 115 episodes of the Scholars of Wrestling, our honorary figurehead, one Mr. Aaron Stevens, a.k.a. Damien Sandow, has been released by the WWE.
Which was the biggest shock to everyone. He was added to a list of 8 superstars who, if you actually look at that list, everyone else deserves to be on that list. Damien Sandow does not. Even to an extent, Wade Barrett deserves to be on that list, mainly because he wanted out.
Mm-hmm.
Simply that. They just like
he wanted out for a long time. Everybody knew.
So they just get
it was no secret.
Instead of just waiting for his contract to expire, they're just like, okay, we'll just let you go now, and that was it. Damien you have Hornswoggle, you have El Torito, or as I call him, El Doritos, Santino. You have Cameron.
Girl, bye.
Thank God she's gone.
I've been waiting to say that
took
for
her
all
long
night.
enough. Let's see, who else was on that list? Alex Riley.
You haven't seen him in...
With him, continue.
He's been stuck in NXT purgatory.
That, and he's been getting injured a lot. That doesn't help him either.
You know what?
The best theme song of all time gets given to a guy with injury issues.
But the bright side, I kept thinking about what Alex Riley was actually doing right before he got fired. Do you realize what the last thing he did in the company was?
What?
He was in NXT getting a match against Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's right.
So I was like, okay, nice severance package. There you go. You get to wrestle Nakamura.
And then you get Damien Sandow, which, from everywhere I've looked, from like WrestleZone to What Culture to Bleach Report, everyone was in full shock that such a popular guy like Damien Sandow was released. And I just read while we were recording, there was no reason. The only reason they let him go was to change up the roster. He didn't do anything bad. It wasn't anything. They had nothing for him, and they just let him go,
which is disappointing. And really disappointing in some aspects, but it's also like, if you don't have anything for a guy, don't leave him languishing doing absolutely nothing. If you don't have anything for him, let him go for now. Let him make his money doing the independent scene. And then maybe when you come up with something for someone like his character, you can always bring him back.
I do agree with that, but I also look at, hell, even Monday. I told you about this on Monday. If you actually would have put Damien Sandow in Zack Ryder's position for WrestleMania, even putting him in the match and then having him build and to WrestleMania itself, it would have made an even bigger impact than having Zack Ryder
You're not wrong.
Winning the Intercontinental title. It actually would have blown it out of the water because even though Damien Sandow shows up on a rare number of occasions, every time he does show up, he gets one of the biggest reactions from the crowd.
And there was still so much... There was still so many opportunities. It was very clear that they weren't using him right.
Oh, no. Now I'm going to pull it quickly. I'm going to pull a Scholars in Time with this one, so... Hold on one second. Scholars in Time. Looking back on his, like, when he first started, he was, apparently from what I read, he was Triple H's pet project when he first came in. Mm-hmm. And even I pointed out, I'm like, he's reached a character similar to what Hunter Hearst Helmsley was when Triple H first began. So right. I'm thinking, I can see him even, like, to himself evolving to a point where he kind of is like another Triple H. Not Cerebral Assassin, but, like, kind of Cerebral Assassin light, I guess. And he was reaching a hot streak to the point where he won the Money in the Bank, which I actually, like, I couldn't be any happier, even though he only won, like, one match since winning that briefcase.
He did have the best briefcase, though.
He did have
the leather-bound briefcase.
He did have the best briefcase. And what he did with Cody Rhodes, from Rhodes Scholars to when he won the Money in the Bank, and his feud with the briefcase, it was pretty much fighting for a title. Mm-hmm. And, well, to an extent it was. And they actually took it and made it one of the most interesting storylines that they were going on with SmackDown. And then, of course, came that moment where he faced John Cena. And I actually watched the match over again when he cashed in on Cena. Mm-hmm. It was a great match. Those two worked awesomely well together.
I remember that.
Like I actually watched it today before I came over tonight. Mm-hmm. It was such a great match.
And immediately after that...
And then after that was actually when he started going downhill, which people say it's the joke. Once you face John Cena, your career goes downhill.
It was actually true.
He was the perfect example of that.
Because he got buried.
He was losing to Sin Cara. He was losing to Sin Cara in a matter of seconds. And then they decided, hey, let's give him more shit to do. And by giving him so many different characters from Magneto with Hugh Jackman.
I am Magneto.
Hey, that's actually a big deal. He did a thing with Hugh Jackman.
I know.
So yeah,
I liked it.
And of course, him impersonating Vince McMahon, which was actually hilarious.
It was.
So even though there was moments where his impersonations was stupid, like him being the basketball player, or D Sizzle. God, I actually remember that.
Oh man. Well, to be fair, he was doing it on up, down, down for quite a bit. Mm-hmm.
So to an extent, they gave him shit, but he was getting a natural reaction from the crowd.
Yeah. He made a lot of chicken salad.
They gave him shit that he turned into gold,
and then it became even like 100% pure delicious gold when he became Mizdow.
That was
when he became the Miz stunt double, and I remember watching the network show, the Three Table, or what's it called? Table for three, where Miz explained the whole Damien Mizdow character, or the stunt double character, where he was originally all it was supposed to be was him just like, I don't feel like wrestling this match, I'll send my stunt double in. But then Sandow, Aaron Stevens, decided to do something fun with it by mimicking all the Miz's moves, and he was the most popular. He was one of the biggest attractions of 2015, and of course they had to screw it all up by having his big moment in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, only to be having his moment taken away by Big Show winning that goddamn match. That's always been my biggest problem. Big Show did eventually needed to win that Battle Royal. I just felt like just not that one. And then it just became... And then the whole feud became an afterthought. And then
he was off to Superstars Purgatory.
Not even just that, because at first you thought he was going to do something different with his character, like when he came out and thanked the fans.
Yeah, I love that promo.
It was
a great promo.
It was such a natural. It was a human moment, and that made Sandow one of the most biggest characters. And then Curtis Axel came out with Axelmania, and then they decided, let's go one step backwards and give him back to the whole stupid different angle and gave him Macho Mandow, which now led to nothing because of the whole situation with Hulk Hogan. Then he reached Superstar's Purgatory. And then every time he showed up, he got the biggest reactions from the crowd.
I still remember the time when he showed up on TV for a match, and then basically what happened to Big Cass this week. Mm-hmm. He showed up for a match. Showed up for a match with Baron Corbin. Dolph Ziggler attacked him from behind. So he got the best paycheck he's ever had, and he just had to stand in the ring for a minute.
So that's why I feel if he was put in that Zack Ryder position, honestly, I think Zack Ryder should go. I feel like they should have switched and Zack Ryder should have gone.
Because, it could have been either one of them, in my opinion.
Because I feel like it could have been either one of them, but if you look in the long run, if you look at both of them, say, which one actually could have a successful career for the long run? It was Sandow. So that's why I feel, because Zack Ryder's reached that point where he is nothing more than a joke. I hate that Heath Slater is still there.
Someone's got to do the jobs.
It's just ridiculous how you can have people like that and not have someone who is very charismatic, very talented in the ring, like Damien Sandow. And like I agree with Brian, he maybe being released and spending some time in the independent circuit, actually rebuilding himself, may actually be the best thing for him, because I'll put it this way, he'll be Luke Gallows.
Exactly. I'll do you one better. He'll be Drew McIntyre.
Well, Drew McIntyre hasn't come back yet.
Well, I'm not talking.
I'm just talking about rebuilding their character and then coming back.
Okay. What I was originally referring to was just the kind of success. He was a total jobber in WWE for a long time. Now he goes back to his home country, and now he's ICW champion for a while.
And he's also TNA, whatever that means. He's the world heavyweight champion in TNA right now.
I think the best thing for Sandow is to stay far away from TNA as possible.
Right.
Go to Ring of Honor.
Which means
go
he'll
to
be
Japan.
there next week.
Well,
don't you put that evil on him.
So, our friends continuously tagged us for all the events around here that Sandow is going to be a part of.
The big one, though, in Brooklyn.
That's in August, correct? That's the one in August?
Did you remember? Did you see what date it was?
Wasn't it August?
It was.
Which date? Is it your birthday?
August 7th, my birthday.
We're going.
Okay.
And
I want to celebrate my birthday with Damien Sandow.
That'll be awesome.
Because why not?
And really, the best thing that we can say right now, and this one is actually going out to Aaron Stevens, Damien Sandow, Idol Stevens, whatever he is. Yeah, that's right. I went there.
Bringing it back.
Or whatever he's going to be called during his time out of WWE. When Brian and I first came up with the idea of the Scholars of Wrestling show, it was mainly because of our fandom for Damien Sandow. Well, at least for the title wise.
And second you explained to me the title, I was just like, and how you wanted to do it, I was just like, I am so on board with this.
Exactly. So I'm now sending this out to you, Aaron Stevens. You are just you're more than just another wrestler to us. We are huge fans. We will follow you wherever you go. It's not just WWE. We're not pulling like a CM Punk or anything like that. Because, hell, I drifted away from CM Punk long after he left WWE. Because he was reaching that point. You are an amazing talent that got completely wasted by the ignoramuses at WWE and their creative. Eventually, if you ever do go back, that'll be so great. Because, like I said, you will be Luke Gallows and you'll be put in a nice spot. Because you are that talented, you are that much of an amazing wrestler, superstar, whatever it is you want to be called. You are the father of the Scholars of Wrestling. And when we see you, I'm planning on making a Scholars of Wrestling t-shirt specifically just for you. And on the back, it's going to have our logo, the Scholars of Wrestling, and on the back, it's just going to say, the Master of Scholars. We are looking forward to meeting you in person, and I tip my clear water. Fellow scholars,
let's raise our glasses.
Let's raise our glasses
to our hero, Damien Sandow.
To our hero, Damien Sandow.
All hail.
All
Master
hail,
of Scholars.
All hail the savior of the unwashed masses.
That is us.
That is us. You're welcome.
Thank you, Damien Sandow.
Thank you. And cheers.
And cheers. Yeah.
I had to let that out because I've been thinking about it ever since I heard about this. We have to basically give our thoughts on how amazing he is to us.
And you know what? That whole exchange just kept making me think. A while back, there was a hashtag that went out. Yes, April 4th. He tweeted out the hashtag Free Sandow. So apparently that was the hashtag he was going with for his support. That made me sort of think it may be a bit of a Scholars Quick Talk moment.
Okay.
But how much do you think that maybe he was campaigning to get to just he saw the writing on the wall, he knew he wasn't going to get a lot of opportunities. They saw Creative didn't have much for him. Do you think he actually wanted to get released and was campaigning for just getting let go of his contract?
You know what?
Maybe
the words,
because
it's just the wording on the hashtag. I can see it. Now, dude's pretty smart. Okay, so could have the hashtag definitely. Now that I look at it, has double meaning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Free Sandow, let him on the show, or Free Sandow, let him go out and rebuild his brand. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know what?
Let him do it. And like I just said, we are going to support him whatever he does. We're going to follow wherever he goes. And
I can see it actually being like kind of his decision, but not really. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it's like the roster. Has he said anything himself about being released?
He really hasn't said much. I don't think he said it yet.
I don't think he made an official statement. He's just showing up in independence.
It could have been shows. It could have been completely mutual. Just like it could have been like when MVP got released, or Caval. Caval, remember he was like, I gotta go. You're not giving me anything. It could have been that. Everyone's shocked, but what if he had that hashtag Free Sandow went on for a couple months?
No, apparently this is the first time I've seen that hashtag Free Sandow. And from what I saw, it happened 2 days before he was released.
Then I can almost guarantee that he went up and was like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Let me out of my contract. I'll go out, do some stuff. We'll come back to the table.
The door will still be open for WWE.
Exactly.
Once he, like I said, rebuild his name, rebuild his character, his image.
It just makes sense.
It needs it, and the day if he ever comes back to WWE, which I feel like I will be happy if he does, and he will be completely better because he made himself. Like he will come back as a character that he made, and that he will shine as for what he did.
I mean,
it's what's best for him.
Look at Gallows. I mean, he's not getting the best right now in the WWE,
but still, he's way better than what he got.
He's way better originally than what he was when he left. Just give Sandow a couple years. Let him do the Drew Galloway, Luke Gallows thing, and then have him come back bigger, better, and smarter than ever.
Who knows? Maybe his little stint in Brooklyn will be the first step on his road to sheer recovery.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And he's doing a meet and greet.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, we're there.
In June, I believe.
Is it in June? Is it? Or
I think so.
I think the August show is when he's doing the meet and greet. At least that's the one I saw.
We need to clarify this, and we need to find out when he's putting shirts up on Pro Wrestling Tees.
And we're gonna give him a Scholars of Wrestling shirt.
Yes.
Because, hey, at least he knows we exist.
Yes, he does.
It's not gonna be. It's like here, have our shirts.
We love you, Damien.
We love you, Damien Sandow.
Yeah. We love you turd.
We won't creep him out, but yeah, it was.
Well, not all of us.
Well,
I make no promises.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that would creep him out is, can you just elbow us disdain me?
Yeah.
Pretty please.
I'm just gonna lie down right here. Do your thing. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh man, still, I can, as sad as the hit initially was, I can definitely see just from all the opportunities that can come out of this,
and the opportunities he's already gotten.
Yeah, I can see. Did you hear he got announced for Global Force Wrestling?
No.
He's supposedly booked in a match with Colt Cabana.
Oh my God! There you go.
Yeah.
Are you serious? It's a step.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction for him.
Oh yeah. See, it's this kind of thing that makes me really hopeful, and it's not. To me, it's not as sad as it once was.
And we will follow him every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. And it's
no doubt.
How long do you think it's going to be before we just start making a regular Damien Sandow report?
The next week.
Where? There you go.
Where is Sandow?
There we go. We just
What new shows has he been booked for this week?
This week's Sandow report.
There you go.
I'm actually, for as much of a downer as this show started, I'm actually feeling kind of hopeful now. This is good.
That's what our fellow scholar can do to us.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yes.
There's always hope.
And you know what? We want to share that hope with all of you. So we want to know what you think, just as always. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. If you like what you hear, give us a little thumbs up, give a little like. If you want to hear more, you don't be shy to subscribe to that little subscribe button. Just click it to your heart's content. click it more.
No, don't click it too much because it unsubscribes as well.
Say subscribe, please. And if you do, you will get free entertainment into your face hole, or at least all your feeds on your Facebooks, on your YouTubes. Free entertainment every single week. Bagoo. Join us for all the fun.
Bagoo.
I'm running out of words here, so I'm just going to plug the Facebook page. Look for us at the Scholars of Wrestling Show. And, of course, you can always find us at our usual Twitter machines. You can check out our main Twitter handle at ScholarsOW for all the latest wrestling episodes, discussions, live tweet announcements, and just whenever the new episodes go up. And, of course, for extra fun, you can always follow us on our private Twitter machines.
You got that?
Barely. I'm just barely holding on here. Anyway, follow us. I live tweet all the time. You can follow me at I'm Robbie Rage, all one word. Fool, where can they find you?
You can find me at I'm at the Avatar.
And you, sir?
Atomic Beanpole.
There you go. That's just Atomic Beanpole, no Atomic Beanpole.
I want to know how many people actually put the at the end.
You've been doing Atomic Beanpole for how many episodes now? No one's gonna look for
Hey,
there could be some newbies.
Never underestimate the power of the Sandow.
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
I
can't argue with that.
And you know what? We shan't do it. Because for once and for all time, for the person who set us on this path, we are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
Godspeed, Damien Sandow. See you in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Damn right.